Hey guys, this is DaBone and you're watching AVN Live. Very electrifying.
Shit! Who the fuck are you?
Funny you should mention that. My name is DaBone, and coming back from a long absence. I've been away, as most of you guys know. So I'm actually here to do the tell-all story of how I started, why I left, and why I've come back. You see, I'm the guy that's gonna smack the fuck out of all of you. Let me start off by saying this, because this is a chance for me to finally say something I've always wanted to say. I spent the first several years of my career doing things the wrong way. You know, I came in a little bit brash, a little bit cocky, and everybody in Chatsworth right now is in three-part harmony going bullshit. He was real cocky, real, and I did things, and you know, because I thought I was. You think you can get away with anything? To make a long story short, if this is my chance, if I could go back to every director in the business that I've ever worked for, if I could go back to every person that I ever met, and really truly not just say it just because it may sound good or you're trying to save face, but to really tell you that I am sorry for some of the things that I did. And it's not like it was an everyday thing, but but sometimes, like when I had a bad day or if something didn't go right, or I would make my bad day everybody else's bad day. Looks like you little bitches need to go back home and get some more girls. Jonesy! You're right. A lot of people did ask me why I quit, what was the real reasons. There was rumors, there was this, and I don't even want to get into it's some of them are so ridiculous, but I met someone. Even though I was kind of getting burned out anyway, I really was. I was a stunt rider. I rode for Team No Limit, and as most people know, I did the stunts for Torque and Biker Boys, and I did stunt shows all around around the world, and I wanted to do that full time. But the adult world was even though it was just stunts and I was behind the scenes, you didn't know who I was. It was still affecting. Like, I'd lose jobs because of it. Like, and then I'd miss out on certain sponsorships because that I did porn. And I was thinking to myself, why is this? And it was affecting relationships. It was affecting this. And I was like, I wanted to get out, not because I thought it was better, not because, oh, this is bad. No, I had a good run, and it made me do some things that I would have never, been able to do, and meet people I would have never been able to meet. But the things I like the music, playing drums and being, a tennis coach, and playing baseball and all these different things, and these movies and these other things I wanted to do, it was affecting. So I thought if I could just quit and if I could just get out of it, people would forget, right? When I was young, I had a crush on somebody, a certain tennis player. And I used to always, not fantasize. I was 10th, 11th, 12th grade or whatever, fantasizing about this, this tennis player, and she was like the top 10 player in the world, the big, she was out there at the time with Andre Agassi was big on the men's side, and most people already know it's Jennifer Capriati, and I never really meant to like throw it out there because. But when we met by chance. It was just by, I was flipping the channels one time, and I think Joey was, I said, turn it back. And he goes, what's this, women's tennis? I'm like, yeah. He said, you never told me you like women's tennis. I was like, well, I like tennis in general. I just never told anybody. And he said, what's this? I said, I love that girl. She's great. He looked at the TV. He goes, I know her. I said, well, no, you don't. He goes, no, I saw her at a party in Miami one day. She was, there with other, at the Portofino or something like that, with other tennis people, and he had a friend of her. It's like a friend of a friend of a friend that knew her, and blah, 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 blah. He said, let me call him. And so he called her, and he called him and said, hey, I got this guy that really, likes her, blah, 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 blah. So we, kind of met like that. She said, send me a picture, blah, blah, blah. She didn't know anything about me. And I was terrified about that, because I knew that eventually if she found out, it was going to be. So... And at the time, so when I flew to Florida, we met. It was, what year? This was 2003. Yeah, this is when I quit. So that was my push to quit, because I was wanting to do the motorcycle stuff. I wanted to go on and try to do these other things. And then when I met her, I was like, wow, I can't believe this. This is somebody that I was crazy about, and she kind of likes me too. So the unfortunate thing was, the second that, you know, we met, everything was cool, but then we went out in public, and I don't think she ever realized how, you know, how big I was in the adult world, and I downplayed it like it was nothing, you know, because that's just, you know, maybe it was wishful thinking, but people recognize, and it got out immediately, like, so obviously she was like, oh my God, I can't believe this, we can't ever see each other again, you know, and I was crushed. Again, I was like, this porn thing, you know, was like, I lost you know, I got kicked off the motorcycle team, I got, you know, the relationships, you know, and then I met, you know, the woman that you know, I hit a low, I really did, I hit an all-time low, and I said, well, I'm not going to give up, so I moved to Florida to try to be closer, so I could try to rekindle. And for months, you know, we didn't talk, and then finally we kind of talked again, and we just tried to keep, you know, long story short, you know, we tried to keep everything a secret. And I treated her like, oh my God, like a prince. I mean, I tried to do above and beyond. And I'll give her credit, man, she really tried to make things work, because she had to deal with so much crap because of, you know, what I did. And I give her credit, she tried, you know, but nobody cared that I treated her good. Nobody cared that we actually liked each other. Nobody cared about, oh, it was porn this, porn that. I bet she, you know, and like some of her ex-boyfriends didn't treat her so good, but they looked at, because they were pro athletes, they were good. She told me she says, I want a guy that I don't have to hide. I want a guy, she said, it's nothing personal, but we can't go to places together. We can't go to red carpet events. We can't go to, and, you know, and I basically understood that, you know, because sometimes love does not conquer all. Think about it. If I never would have done porn, I would have never been in position to where that person, I would have never met her. So I would have never been in those movies. I would have never met Jason Britton to get on the stunt team. I would have never met, you know, when I got into GQ magazine, I would have never done these things. So it helped get me to where I wanted to be, so I can't be mad at it. But I really felt that I had moved on. This is a life sentence. It really is. And I tell some of the new kids and new girls that are coming into this business, it is a life sentence. You know, once you do it, once you make that commitment, and especially now with the internet, once it goes up, it's there forever. Whether it's good, whether they write something bad about you, good about you, or see it's up there. Your kids are going to see it. Your mom's going to see it. Everybody's going to see it. And it's a bed that we have to lay in, and it took me for a long time to come to terms with that, because I was trying to hide it. I was trying to be Dale Rutter here, but Dale DaBone over here. And even though I think that I was a good person before, during, and even better now after, because I got humbled and I'm trying to come back with a better attitude, I was still a good guy at heart.
How is a squabble like a bargain?
Very well. It's because it takes two to make it. Being able to come back and doing Batman was huge, because no matter what I did, there was always that itch. I always liked being in front of the camera. You know, that part of me will never change. You know, if like when I was a kid, if there was a stage, I'd get on it. If there wasn't a stage, I'd build one. So that side of me never kind of went away, because I like to perform. So when he called me and he said, "Hey, I got this idea for you. I think you'd be perfect for Batman." I was thinking, the first thought was like Dark Knight, or George Clooney, or which Batman, which one of this is it, the funny one, and then he said Adam West. And the first thing that popped in my head was precisely, but let's do it inconspicuously. So I went, it was like that kind of, because I saw it as a kid, and most directors, when I used to do movies, I would never look at the script until right before there's other people that would study. I had this ability that right before I went on, right before we were about to shoot that scene, that's when I would look at the lines.
Do we have a script?
Because I never wanted things to be too rehearsed. And so I was able to do that. For this one was a little bit different, because I tried that the first day, and because most of the times I got to be Dale DaBone playing a character. Most of the characters I got was that guy, the cocky guy, or imagine that stretch, huh? Or the whatever. So it was really easy for me to just put it in my own words. But this is the time, I had to be Adam West.
What is your name?
I had to be that, and so I really actually, practiced it a little bit. I went and did some research, and I went and watched, some of and I just tried to become him, and and it wasn't because I did so good. It wasn't that. You know why I did good? It was because of Evan Stone, Tory Black, James Dean, Randy Spears, Alexis Texas, Axel Braun. Those are the reasons why I did good, because when I got there and I saw Evan Stone, and this is like Evan, most of the time Evan plays Evan. Evan became the Riddler. Randy Spears was the Joker. I almost get chills talking about it because everybody did a good job, and Tori became it was, and I'm thinking to myself, wow, I look the part. And I think everybody was expecting Dale DaBone to come in and play Dale DaBone as he's not Batman. So I had to step up my game, because when I saw them rehearsing and doing their things, they were on point.
Holy conspiracy!
This one is the coolest and best role I think I've ever played. Not just because, I mean, it's easy to say that because your latest is, like, the latest is the greatest, right? But it really was because, like I said, I wasn't Dale DaBone. I wasn't Dale. I became something else, and I really got a chance to act and do something that I wasn't, necessarily was comfortable with, but I wasn't used to doing. Okay, in the motorcycle world, I was known for one of my best tricks is an endo, which is when you go and you grab the front brake and you're up on the front wheel. And at one time I had one of the longest ones out there, like 825 feet. It's always been my love, and it always will be. Yeah, I'm here. But the difference is this time I'm gonna come back with a better attitude. I'm gonna come back with my head on straight, not up my ass like it once was. And I'm gonna try to take every opportunity I can to, I'm still gonna strive to do other things, But the difference is this time I'm not going to be ashamed, or I'm not going to try to hide anything or try to act like, because you can still be a good person, you can still have a good heart, and you can still change.
Very well. It's because it takes two.
You can follow me on Twitter at Dale DaBone XXX, or you can visit my website, www.myspace.com/DaleRutter72, and that's RUTTER 72. Hope to see you soon.